Hello guys, this is Hitesh from MATLAB Helper, and I welcome you guys to this live interactive session on live image enhancement webinar. Uh, I- I'm very happy and I thank Indu and Sushma for their webinar content. And I should say that the content was really good. I really loved the webinar. And moving ahead, I want Indu and Sushma to introduce themselves and give out their opinions on the webinar. So over to Indu.
Thank you, Hitesh, for your comments. And yeah, I just hope that everyone enjoyed this webinar section. And I'm just looking forward to answer those questions. And how about you, Sushma?
Yes, I would agree with you, Indu. I hope they enjoyed our webinar. And if they have any doubts, I want them to clear them out here. And I hope they enjoyed this session too.
Okay, I hope you guys will be very happy to hear that we already received many questions for you guys. So without any further delay, let's move into the questions. So I'll be taking my leave. You start with the question.
So, yeah, let me just start with the first question that we received from Tejas. So, he asked, give one example of where image processing is used in the medical field. What do you say about that, Sushma?
Well, one example that I could think of is wherein the tumor cells can be detected and, they can be classified into malignant or benign tumors based on their image. And that's one of the applications of image processing that is right now the most useful to human life, as well as it is a new topic that is being considered under papers, as well as it's an ongoing research.
Okay, then what technique can be used to detect that tumor?
Um, the basic technique using um, what they are detecting the tumor is, image segmentation. Do you want to elaborate on that, Indu?
We can implement image segmentation technique using MATLAB actually. For that, we do have two apps. They are image segmenter app and as well as color thresholder app. So basically, color threshold app is used to manipulate a color of an image. So in that way, we can also manipulate images, and we can perform image segmentation using MATLAB. And yeah. Do you know any application regarding image segmentation?
Um, for image segmentation, well, sometimes you would have to detect a particular part of the passport, right? So
Yeah.
over there, you'll have your photo and the content. So basically, the photo will be of color while the content will be in black and white. So in that case, you can use the color thresholder app and filter out all the color images and leave out the content which is in black and white, so that's because you want the content and you want processing to be done on it. So that's one of the applications.
Well, that is really good to hear, Sushma. And we also do have another comment that is any other field image processing is applied to other than in medicine.
Well, image processing is applied in an array of fields. Um, you can think of self-driving car, for example. It is fully automated, like depending on where you stay, like on the road, if there are any objects on the path of the vehicle, it's gonna stop on its own. It can detect other cars, it can detect plants, it can detect the road, it can also detect the traffic lights. Depending on what the signal is, it decides whether to stop, move, or it's gonna slow down.
So yeah, we also do have a lot more applications using image processing. I heard that using image processing and computer vision, we can make an artificial eye. So what is the basic difference between image processing and computer vision, Sushma?
Well, in image processing, basically you perform transformations on it to get a desired output image. For let me give you an example. Like if you take an input image and perform transformations like contrast stretching, sharpening, edge detection, based on what you want the processing to be, and get the output image. That is where an image processing comes into picture. While in computer vision, the input is going to be an image or a part of the video. The main goal is to understand what that content has, like what that input is going to convey to the user. That is basically computer vision.
So yeah, there is a question from Akansh that is, what is the advantage of image processing with MATLAB? Well, I can just say that MATLAB is a general purpose programming language. So I can say as every programming language has its own advantages, so MATLAB do have. And another advantage using MATLAB is we have many inbuilt functions and image processing toolbox so that it makes a person to use it in a simpler way. And we also can implement advanced algorithms using MATLAB. So yeah, Sushma, do you agree with that, or would you like to add any other points?
Yeah, I would like to agree with you. And also, one point that I would like to mention is these inbuilt apps in MATLAB, they're very useful. Like, basically, any user can just learn about them from MathWorks and implement them on their first try itself. So, I advise them to check the webinars and do watch our webinar since it's, um,
Explained it well.
yeah.
Yeah. So there is another comment from Ritesh actually regarding the webinar. I have a query regarding the disturbances given in iris, and I want to know that which disturbance can disturb the picture more, like in Gaussian or Poisson.
Actually, both of the noises can be, disrupting the iris image, but based on each disturbance, like we cannot predict the noise which is going to be present. Noise is actually, it's going to be an input in the acquisition stage. So when you're taking a photo or taking input from the environment, only then will the noise be present. What do you think, Indu?
Yeah, you explained it in a clear way, and I have no other points to add on. And yeah, you also explained it in the webinar regarding the noise in the iris. So yeah, it was well answered. So there is a question from Kiran. What are morphological processes?
Um, Morphological processes are basically, operations done based on shape as well as the size of the structuring element. We had explained about the structuring element in the webinar as well. Basically, based on the structuring element, you would perform certain operations on the input image, and these operations are gonna, change and transform the input image based on the size and shape of your structuring element. You can decide the size and shape of your structuring element. Like dilation is wherein you dilute the image, like it's thinning of, like if you have a text which is very thick and you want to thin it, you use dilation. While for the opposite effect, you can use erosion.
Well, I suggest Kiran to watch the webinar so that he can get more clear idea on that. And yeah, we also do have another question.
Yeah, a question from Nikki saying that what is noise and where does it come from?
Well, noise is just like simple thing. As you can see that every process does have an error, and so in the same way, in image processing, we do have noise. It is a kind of error that we can detect in an image. So yeah, we also can remove this type of like I mean, there are various types of noises, so we can remove all types of noises using MATLAB actually. And all types of noises means we do have Gaussian noise and salt and speckle, pepper noise and speckle noise and quantization noise as well. So Sushma explained it in a clear way in the webinar. So I really suggest you to watch the webinar again so you can get a clear perception on that.
Thank you for your comment, Indu. There's another question regarding um, zooming actually. What is zooming of digital images?
Well, we do have two operations, that is zooming and shrinking, that can perform on an image. So these two are quite opposite. When it comes to zooming, in zooming process, we actually do add pixels in it. That means we generally do follow two steps. First step is creating new pixel locations, and then we just assign a few levels to those new pixel locations. In that way we can enlarge an image, where when it comes to shrinking, it is quite opposite, that shrinking is minimizing an image. That means in this process we'll remove few pixels. The disadvantage of this process is we do lose a few pixels that which cannot be recovered back again. So yeah, there will be reduced in a picture clarity if we do that. What
Hmm.
do you say, Sushma?
That's a very good answer, actually. I I think Ali would have understood your explanation. He
From
has another question asking how we can perform the zooming operation using MATLAB.
Well, we do have few inbuilt functions in MATLAB for zooming operations. They are zoom on, zoom in, zoom out, and so on. So zoom on is basically enables a zoom mode, and when we actually enable the zoom mode, if you click the mouse button or when you just scroll it, then picture will be zoomed in or zoomed out by a factor of two. So in that way, we can perform zooming operations in MATLAB. Well, we do have another question from Ritisha. Is MATLAB best for image processing compared to any other software?
Um,
Yeah, we explained it in a previous comment actually. Uh, uh, we cannot say it is the best because every programming language has their own advantages. What do you think, Sushma?
yeah, every programming language has their own advantages and disadvantages. While in MATLAB, I do feel it's very convenient to the user to use as well. That is my opinion.
Yeah. And there is another comment from Hitesh that is, can image processing be used in enhancing CCTV images, thereby helping us in catching the culprit?
That's a very interesting question, Indu. Don't
Yeah,
you think so?
yeah, it is. That is a real life application where we can use image processing. Can you just elaborate on that and answer him?
As far as I know, our current government is actually working towards it so that it can improve the public security of its people. And also, they want to improve the uh, surveillance quality of these videos so that they can catch criminals and petty thefts, as well as, note down license plate numbers easily, since the video right now is not that good. So, enhancement of these videos is much needed.
Yeah, so I can just say it is a good application that one can implement. Moving on to another question. This question is asked by Likita. Can we retrieve the enhanced image using MATLAB? Oh, well, I think it's a good question because our webinar is on image enhancement with MATLAB and it is about retrieving. Yeah, we do. We also can, retrieve an image back. For example, as we explained it in the webinar, um, I explained blurring and deblurring of a same image. So in that case, if your original image is blurred and if you want to deblur it back, then I just suggest you to watch the webinar so you can get a clear idea on that how we actually deblur an image. And for example, if your original image has sort of noise in it, and definitely you might have know what type of noise it is. So yeah, if your enhanced image does not have any noise and you want to get back that noise, then you can also add noise to that enhanced image, like using the command im noise, where you in using that you can add noise to an image. So yeah.
There's another comment by Rohit. Um, he asked us a question about image in the form of a matrix. He's asking, can we represent any sort of image in the form of a matrix?
Well, yeah, we can represent any sort of image in its form of a matrix. For example, any type of images means we do have digital image. The images which you usually download it from internet or you find it in your mobile phone are digital images. So when you represent it in the form of matrix, then that elements will be zeros and ones because it is a digital image. And we also do have a grayscale image which we can implement, represent it in a form of matrix. And we also do have RGB image where when you represent it in a form of matrix, you will have three matrices. One matrix is used to represent the amount of red, and the other to green, and the other to blue. So in that way we do have three matrices. So yeah, Rohit, we can represent any type of images as a matrix.
When
uh,
you were talking about grayscale and RGB images, there's a comment by Akshay. He's asking when we can use RGB images in MATLAB and why most of the images are converted to grayscale before analysis.
well, we also do use RGB images in processing because a few inbuilt functions does not support RGB images. In that case, we need to convert them into grayscale images. For example, we do have a command to increase the contrast of an image, that is IM adjust. So in that case, it supports only grayscale images. So you need to convert an RGB image to grayscale image before using that command. So for conversion, you generally use a command called RGB to gray for conversion of an image. Yeah, that is all it is. Uh, MATLAB also do have many inbuilt functions which do support RGB images as well. What do you say, Sushma?
Yes, Indu, your answer was very accurate. But I would also like to add that grayscale images are not the only things converted into, but RGB images are also converted into binary so that they can perform like connection analysis, holes, and all can be found out when they convert it into binary because MATLAB has inbuilt functions like BW convex hull. They can find out the region where the objects lie in. Similarly, there are many advantages of converting this image, and one of the reason that RGB images are converted into grayscale is because RGB image is a 3D matrix, while grayscale image is a 2D matrix. So it's easier to perform processing on it.
Well, that is really good to know. We have a question from Hitesh. Is augmented reality an application of image processing?
Hmm.
Well, we don't have much idea on that, but then it's a good thing actually, right?
Yeah, and though actually, I also I'm not clear about it, but it might have a part of image processing and computer vision in it.
Might be. So yeah, we also do have many other questions. Before that, I would like to say that we also do have a quiz contest on the webinar you watched. So do participate in the quiz contest. I'll just show you how to participate in that quiz contest. Uh, so yeah, when you scroll down, like when you visit our webinar page on image enhancement with MATLAB and scroll down the page, you can just find something like participate in webinar quiz. So just click on that. When you click on that, you can attempt our quiz. And advantage of this is you can attempt the quiz any number of times. That means there is no limit for that. And if you score at more than 75%, then there will be certificate given to you, as well as your your image and your name will be published on our official website. So guys, do participate in the webinar, and do participate in the quiz, and also do score well. And before that, I suggest you to watch the webinar because you can answer questions well. Let me just show you one question. Click on Start Quiz. Well, there is a question: which of the following picture represents salt and pepper noise? So based on that, you can just click on one option, and it
Answer the
doesn't. Yeah, it does not depend. One option will give you another question, and second option will give you another question. So based on the option you choose, the next question will be there. So yeah, in this way you can answer quiz questions. So
Let's move on to the next questions we are being asked, Indu.
yeah,
So,
uh, there
yeah.
is a question from Suhas. What are the different types of images present which are supported by MATLAB?
Well, MATLAB image processing toolbox supports binary image as well as true color images, grayscale images, as well as um, matrix formed, which is indexed images, wherein true color images is actually RGB images, which with its pixels divided into three triplets, that is red, blue, and green, while the grayscale images are based on the intensity levels. These types of images are usually divided based on the type on how these pixels are stored in the image.
So yeah, Sushma, in this webinar, we actually designed an app that will remove noise from an image, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me some other applications regarding image processing?
Mm, Other applications regarding image processing are like you can find out defects in clothing. That is one of the application of image processing in the textile field. You have face detection, motion detection in the surveillance and security field, and also you have many other implementations like um, a few examples by you, Indu.
Yeah, I just want to tell them that the application we discussed in few days back, so the one which can implement in a medical field, for example, if you have a few set of medicines and you just want to give a prescription about that. So for older people it is difficult to remember them that when the tablet must be, it should take.
Consume.
Yeah, so in that case we can just process the tablet, and then immediately a screen will be appeared showing the time when the tablet must be consumed. So yeah, in that way we also can apply image processing technique. But there will be a disadvantage, of course, because it might be risk to the user, because you never know if there will be an error, then yeah, definitely it will be a risk to them. What do you say, sir?
Yes. Actually, you're right, Indu. Like, we are talking about a person's health here. So, there might be risk. Like, what if the medicine taken is not the right one?
Well, yeah, there is a question from Suhas,
Yeah.
and a question is, what kind of image is best for testing?
Well, if we're talking about testing of images, we should talk about synthetic images. There are two type of synthetic images, that is chessboard and phantom. These synthetic images are basically have sharp edges and uniform regions. That's why it's useful for testing. Like, for example, the chessboard is black and white, a pixelated kind of image, where alternatively it is black and white as a normal chessboard. Since it has sharp edges, it can be used for edge detection as well as corner detection, segmentation as well. So it's a very good testing image for these kind of algorithms. While for the phantom image, it has like oval or round kind of structures on it. which is lying within one another. So you can test that for segmentation as well as for detection of holes and such algorithms. Well, there is another way of testing your algorithms, that is using IM noise. You can add noise to a pristine image and check how your algorithm works for that kind of noise.
Well, that is really good to hear. You really answered it well. So there is another question, that is it possible to view the pixel value of an image?
Well, Indu, actually, it is possible to view the pixel values for any kind of image. Like if you save an image for, say, a variable A, then you just need to type that variable in the console of MATLAB. You will get a matrix form of that particular image in the console. And the matrix form has numbers, nice, right? These numericals are actually values of the pixels you're looking into. There are other ways to view the pixel values as well. Like using the pixel viewer application in MATLAB, you can also view the pixel values. You can zoom in, zoom out. You have a clear view of the position of these pixels as well as the values. And another way you can use it is wherein, you know, you use IM show in the figure application when you type a figure in your MATLAB script. In the IM show, you will have you'll have the tools on the top of your figure. Just click on it and you'll be able to access the pixel viewer there.
I have a doubt. Like, why do we actually need to view a pixel of an image?
Um, Well, sometimes, okay, you might not know what the noises present in your image are. Like, it might be something you are given, like an image that you're naturally given and it has noise, and you don't know what is that noise. With the help of the pixel, you can actually know what type of noise it is, or you can even detect whether that image has undergone padding or whether it has undergone any processing before it. So that helps in analyzing it, as well as to think about what the next steps to do to that image to do any transformation.
Well, that is good to know. And as we designed an application using MATLAB in our webinar, can we share that application with anyone?
Yes, you naturally can share your MATLAB application. The first thing you must do is you must package your MATLAB application using MATLAB desktop or MATLAB online, anything you prefer. And that will create a installation file with the extension .ml app install, and with this extension file you can share it to others, and with the help of this installation file, the others can open your application and run it with the with a single click.
So yeah, there is a comment that is even Google Photos can merge my pictures using AI, and day by day there are new tools coming doing similar things. Should we fear that image processing is destructively running our private life? Oh, well, it need not to be, because it's your perspective that it's your decision that you give the permission to Google Photos to access your images. So before doing that, just be careful on that so that there will not be any problem. And image processing will definitely will not do that, because we do have many other advantages and applications using image processing. So yeah, what do you say, Sushma?
Yes, and though I would like to agree with you, uh, y- as you already said, it can be useful as well. Like with image processing, you can actually get some images wherein the background is blacked out and only the focus is on one color image. A part of the color image is colored. And similarly, there are many nice applications to image processing, even though have you're going to sacrifice a little bit of your privacy, but that those are things that you would have already given permission to, and that is a choice that you would have to make. Don't you agree, Indu?
Yeah, I completely do agree. And we also do have another comment that is, I am completely new to MATLAB. How can I start using it? Yeah, you can start from basics, from mathematical operations using MATLAB. And yeah, I would rather suggest you to watch our previous webinars, which are from basics. So with that, you can start learning MATLAB, and yeah, definitely you will learn MATLAB in that case. Do you have anything to say, Sushma?
Yes, actually, Indu, I would suggest the user to first start with mathematical operations on MATLAB and learn their way up from there. I think that's a very good starting point. What do you say?
Yeah, I do agree. And uh, another comment related to the comparing two programming languages. Since we are talking about image processing related code, I would like to know whether we can change MATLAB code or app in C or any other programming language and app. Well, I can say that you can convert a MATLAB programming language into C or any other programming language, but I don't know about MATLAB application can be converted or not. Do you have any idea about that?
Well, Indu, you are right about MATLAB scripts. While in MATLAB application, you really can't convert your application into C, but it is very useful since you can have a GUI for it, and also only the action elements of your application need to be coded, while the other part of your application you do not need to code it, but it will be created by the application itself automatically.
Yeah, true. And yeah, that is the way. So we also do have another comment regarding some application. When we talk about image enhancement, I have some footage where a bike theft was being captured. Can we do some video enhancement for identifying the culprit? Uh, it sounds similar like a previous comment that yeah, video enhancement is possible, but it is quite complex than image enhancement, as we do have many number of frames. Yeah, do you want to add anything?
Yes, actually, Indu, what you said was right. Since, an image can be considered a single frame, while in a video it might have n number of frames, it takes time processing only one image. Considering you have to process n number of frames together, it does increase the complexities, but it is a very good application. If it is implemented, it is going to be very useful to our country, as well as um, you know you used to catch those theft they were talking about.
Well, someone is asking where can I watch the webinar? You can watch the webinar in our YouTube channel. There will be a video in our YouTube channel, or you can also, uh, open our web page, that is mlhp.link/live img enhance. So with that link also you can watch the webinar, and don't forget to attempt the quiz, because you just need to test your skills, test what you learned actually. So just don't forget to do that.
Yes,
uh,
I would agree with Indu. I would like every one of you who are actually present over here and haven't watched the webinar to watch our webinar and attempt the quiz, testing your knowledge about what you learned in the webinar, as well as gain uh, gain knowledge about it, and also earn yourself a certificate by MATLAB Helper.
yeah, and we also have another question regarding application again. So I have another application in my mind where I wish to distinguish various currencies using image processing plus to identify fake currency. What kind of features need to be extracted for doing it?
Well, they are on the right track, don't you think, Indu? They are talking about features. So I think they are already introduced to image processing and how it works.
So, what are the features of image processing actually?
Okay, let's talk about what basically features are. I'll explain it by an example. Like if we consider face recognition, you'd have to know the features of a person. How would a normal human recognize a person? It would be based on his eyes, nose, and mouth, right? Similarly, in even in computer vision and image processing, these features are the ones which are going to be extracted, compared with the database, and then recognized. The eyes of a person would be unique, and these kind of features are detected. And as for the case of currency, each currency will have a unique feature. Like in our currency, we have unique set of um, distinguished features, right? These
Yeah,
features should be recognized.
well, that is well answered, Sushma. And yeah, moving on to another question regarding image and video enhancement, which we spoke about that. What is the difference between video and image enhancement, and what are the complexities in video enhancement?
Well, we already talked about it in the previous comments.
Yeah.
Basically, between image and video enhancement, the complexity increases a lot, since we are talking about one image and a lot of frames in case of a video. And also in the video, there will be motion of objects. You would have to keep track of everything from the first frame to the last frame. Say if a ball bounces and you have a video of it, the ball will change position in each frame, and you will have to keep track of it. That is not an easy task at all.
Yeah. Uh, so we can just say that video enhancement is quite complex than image enhancement. And we also do have another question regarding a project, that is, I want to make a project based on image processing for my college. Can you suggest some ideas?
What do
Well,
you
yeah, you can just start from basics otherwise, or why can't you just start with image enhancement, because it is good for your college project as well. You can easily find an application regarding image enhancement. I just suggest you to watch the webinar and get some idea on image enhancement first. Then you can apply it anywhere. Like, Sushma explained many applications. So you can just, choose one among them and use it for your project. So, yeah, Sushma, as we were talking about noises, can you just elaborate on them?
Yeah, sure. Actually, in the type of noise you have is depending on, human error or error made by the machine during the acquisition process, as we talked about. And the noises usually present in medical images are salt and pepper noise, wherein you'll have salt, which is white noise, white kind of noise scattered on your image, while the pepper noise is the black noise present on your image. These are actually nonlinear noise. Salt and pepper noise is a nonlinear noise, while these impulse noises present will be usually 0 or 255, the extremities of the grayscale image intensity. That's one of the noises present. As for Gaussian noise, it is a noise wherein the noise will have a probability density function which is equal to the normal distribution of that image. So, based on the image, the noise will be present. And similarly, for speckle noise, it is a multiplying noise. So, if the output is j, it's going to be equal to um, I plus n into I. So this n is gonna be the probability density function of a random number which has a mean of 0 and a variance of 0.05. And this kind of noise is usually dependent on the image itself.
Oh, well, Sushma, you really answered it in a clear way. Uh, Sushma, what do you just think that how far image processing is is there in today's technology? Like, how can we just implement automated kind of systems using image processing?
Well, Indu, I think that image processing is obviously very automated. Like, think about self-driving cars, if you will. It doesn't need any human intervention to say that you have to stop here. It processes everything by itself. Like, it processes the obstruction to its vehicle and stops by itself without any instruction from the human. It is fully automated. So you can see this kind of automation is actually applied in all other fields of image processing as well. Don't you agree with it? Do you have any example regarding this, Indu?
Well, as you gave before, I also heard about something like detecting drowsiness of a driver, and that is the major reason for accidents actually. So yeah, image processing can also used in that case to detect the drowsiness of a driver. So yeah, we also do have many applications using image processing. How about application that, for example, if my car have some problem and I want to detect it using image processing?
Um, do you think it's possible, Indu? Like, how do you want to detect the
Well,
problem in your car?
it may not be accurate, but I want to, process a picture of my engine, you
Hmm.
know, so that it can detect the problem actually. How about that?
That's a very great idea, I think. Like, with a single picture, like for people like me who don't know anything about automobiles, it would be very helpful with me sending a picture to an application and it returning me the problems present in the car. Like, if it was any problem with the engine and which is noticeable with a photo, I think it is possible to implement image processing on it and thereby conclude which problem the car has.
Uh, yeah, that is really good application to be implemented. And for example, just think, Sushma, I am a new learner. And how can you just explain me about image processing?
Mm, okay, that's a very difficult question, Indu.
Yeah,
Um,
from a basic definition of image processing, maybe.
okay, so what I would do to you is ask you to send me an image,
Yes.
and from that image, I would ask you what you want to happen. Like, anything you want, what content of the image you want to do with. What do you understand from the image?
Well, that is a good start actually. So in a simple way, how can you just define image enhancement?
Um, in image enhancement, what we basically want from the image is that we want a better clarity image. Like, you want the noise to be cleared out. You want the pixels to be in the in the correct position so that you have a clear image. With this clear image, it's going to be easier to further process the image for any application or to even analyze it. The clearer the images, the better for you to analyze anything, right?
Yeah. So when you were talking about analyzing an image, right? So guys, next our webinar will be on analyzing an image. As in this part, we just enhance the image. So we thought of explaining it in a clear way that how to analyze the image also. So yeah, it will be very useful for you guys. So just be attend over there also. And Sushma, I think we discussed all the questions, and we are sorry if we just missed any questions by chance. Yeah. So what do you just say, Sushma?
Yes, I hope we satisfied all your queries with our answers. And if you still have any doubts and we could not answer it, you can always post it in the discussion in our webpage. and we would get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, also we do have a webinar on control logic and state flow with MATLAB and Simlink on 20th December. So just be present on that webinar as well, where you can learn another skill in MATLAB. So yeah, I just hope you all will be there and participate as active as you did now. And yeah, what you say, is there anything to say, Sushma?
You have covered it all, Indu. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we just stop in this live interactive section now.